So, EVO wrapped up yesterday, and when SNK saw that the KOF 15 Grand Finals were going to be a mirror match, I bet they decided to throw everything in the kitchen sink at us to compensate. We get a trailer for Team Samurai, announcements of a second wave of KOF 15 DLC featuring Shingo and Kim, and of course, the subject of this video, a teaser for Garou Mark of the Wolves 2. And when I heard about this, my mind started firing off on all cylinders. My first thoughts were, God fucking damn it! Why am I fucking working when fucking video game news drops? Ugh! Never get a job, kids. My second thoughts were all over the place. You might notice that I'm not exactly screaming with excitement here, despite being the Fatal Fury guy. Well, first of all, we pretty much knew this was coming from hints over the past few years, with Oda outright saying that he wanted to do a new Fatal Fury after KOF 15. Second, as much as I do love Garou, my primary love is the Real Bout era of Fatal Fury. If they announced like a dream match Real Bout 3, I would probably be frothing at the dick in a hype coma right now. Third, and this is the main reason, the prospect of Garou Mark of the Wolves 2 actually scares me more than it does excite me. But before I get into the nitty gritty stuff, I figure it's best to actually go over the teaser itself. While it's limited, there is some stuff we can glean from it. Drawn by Tonko, the original artist for Mark of the Wolves 1, this is very clearly a follow-up to that game instead of like a dream match or something. We see Rock, obviously, sporting his regular drip, so this is probably taking place right after the first game, further proven by Kane behind him. Not really anything of note until you look at the third figure in the teaser. And do I even have to say it? It's Billy fucking Kane! This is unironically the most exciting part of the teaser for me personally, because it confirms two things. This game probably isn't sticking to the original 2001 sequel plan, since Billy was nowhere to be seen in it. More importantly, we could be seeing a few more familiar faces popping up again. I mean, I'd be really disappointed if we didn't get to see an older Andy and Joe at least. And let Andy and Mai be married already, for fuck's sake. If they're still a bickering couple in this game and haven't changed as people at all in 10 years, I think I might break all the things. Anyway, that's about all you're getting from the teaser itself. Let's move on. Earlier I said that Mark of the Wolves 2 scares me, and that's for reasons that get a bit more, I don't know, philosophical I guess. My issue is as follows. What SNK ends up releasing, their Garou Mark of the Wolves 2, will inevitably end up being very different to how I've always imagined my ideal Garou Mark of the Wolves to be like, which is just something I have to come to terms with. From all the years Fatal Fury has laid dormant, I've built up these expectations and ideas of what the franchise should be, in my own opinion. And I'll be judging Garou 2 against those things subconsciously, even though I realise it's not very fair to scrutinise it to such a level. It's a bias I'm fine with admitting I have, but not really something I can do much about. I care about this franchise, I want it to come back and flourish and be good and be right. I'm going to be a lot less willing to look over Garou 2's flaws as I was with KOF 15's flaws, even if I don't want to be. My excitement for the possibility of Mark of the Wolves 2 is just hindered by so many asterisks. If it has good online, if it has good gameplay, great graphics, a great roster, a satisfying end to the story, maybe bring some AOF characters back in, on-point characterization, hell, maybe even a good English dub. These are the kind of things I've imagined Mark of the Wolves 2 having for years. Who's to say any of it is actually gonna happen? I think that's the kind of thing that happens when you let a franchise stew for so many years. Its legacy swells to these massive levels, and it's not always a good thing when the company decides to bring it back. I mean, yeah, it gives you an edge in marketing because people recognize the brand name, but it's also built this massive reputation to the point where it's almost like a fucking myth. Think about Garou Mark of the Wolves and what the public opinion of it is. This game is regarded as one of the best 2D fighters of all time, on the same level as something like Third Strike. So this announcement is an admission by SNK that they are ready to create Garou Mark of the Wolves 2. Question is, do I think SNK in its current form is ready to make Mark of the Wolves 2? Not to say their recent efforts have been bad, far from it, but do I think they're ready to take on the behemoth task that is living up to the Fatal Fury franchise? I don't know. Garou 2 isn't the kind of game you just make. They've suspiciously put a lot of Garou stuff in KOF 15. This can't just be a KOF 15 asset flip, it just can't. That's not what Fatal Fury deserves. This was their first ever fighting game series, the series that the company's mascot comes from. It has to be good, it has to measure up against the franchise's legacy, it has to be full measure. The presentation has to be pushed. This game should graphically draw people in. I don't think KOF 15 or Sam Show 2019 look bad, but I don't think they look impressive. Like it or not, fighting game graphics are the first thing people see, the first thing they will judge the game on. And yes, that includes me. I remember seeing Strive for the first time and thought it looked dope, and I wanted to see more of the game, with absolutely no prior exposure to Guilty Gear. Graphics matter. If Garou 2 just looks marginally better than KOF 15, I guarantee you, people will just look at it and think, well, this is just KOF with less characters. Why shouldn't I just play KOF? Fatal Fury has its own vibe, its own aesthetic, its own draws. I hope to God SNK realizes this and plays into it. I don't want this video to go on for ages. It might seem a bit dramatic, but the quality of Mark of the Wolves 2 could make or break me as an SNK fan. This shit has to be good. It has to be done right. It has to give the franchise the respect it deserves. I hope I explained my reasons for feeling this way well enough, and that I didn't come across as too negative. Like, don't get me wrong, the fact that Mark of the Wolves 2 has been announced in the first place is exciting on a basic level. Like, of course it is. It's amazing. Mark of the Wolves 2 is happening. Fatal Fury is coming back. But I'd be lying through my teeth if I said I didn't have all these concerns as well. Either way, this game is clearly a good few years away, so it'll probably be a long while before I revisit this topic anyway. We'll just have to wait and see. The best possible outcome Garou 2 can have is to be so fucking good that I don't care about what I wanted it to be. That's all I got as far as this video goes. I mean, we could go into roster speculation and, you know, 1,000 different things we could pontificate on, but this is just a Greenlit teaser. I mean, this basically represents nothing about what we're going to get. I mean, we have no idea when this could possibly release. I'm thinking not before 2025, minimum. But you know, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Are you like me and are kind of worried about this, or are you just sort of like hyping, you're excited no matter what SNK puts out? It'll be interesting to see some different perspectives on this. Anyway, that's all I got for today. See you guys next time.